Hey there, Internet, how's it going? Guess what? You know who I am. I'm John Graves. And I'm talking to you all today about Kill la Kill and what happened today in this episode. Apparently, what happened in this episode was that we kind of have a little recap of our episode from last week with Jakujuri and Ryoko. Now, in terms of last week, let me do a little bit of recap on that. Solely because I kind of didn't talk about that last week. Apparently, last week, after Ryuko beat Gamagori, she kind of had a little battle this week with Inumura, which kind of was pretty quick. In terms of, he kind of really wasn't trying to fight her. He was just mostly trying, or at least as he said, he was just battling her to gain data. We had a little flashback back with him, which kind of amounted to nothing, and they didn't tell us anything about his past. Or, aside from that, he was like a super hacker, and they knew exactly where he was, and there was one of them within like a second flat. So that's sort of how that went. Then it sort of led into the Jakujuri battle, which kind of came to its conclusion today, which was which sort of ended ironically with Ryoko throwing one of Jakujuri's missiles back at her and then blowing up her first mode. Then everybody started yelling encore. Then she started back up in her drumline mode, I guess. Then was shooting like laser beams from her hat, and Ryuko did some weird thing and then just shot the beam back at her and then destroyed her. Give or take with all of this, there was something rather random that sort of just, really random, just sort of just happened. They sort of just brought in a character just like out of nowhere and just sort of brought her from wherever and then just threw her into the middle of the next battle. Well, before the next battle even began, because Sanagayama, the dude with the green bandana around his eyes, apparently when he was about to start his battle up, he just got defeated by this random woman who came out of nowhere. Just using a random umbrella and then just destroyed his suit with one finger. Just pulled the phantom thread and destroyed it. Then knocked him across the thing. Just like that. That was just sort of how that happened. Then going from that, we went on, there was like a strange reveal who this woman was. She was somebody who knew Satsuki when she was younger, and something about them being related, or I really couldn't catch it because it was going so fast and really didn't make any sense. But however, all that aside, apparently she is the girl who killed Ryuko's father and took the other half of the scissor blade from him, which is kind of strange because in the flashbacks, her hair isn't necessarily the same as how it is now. Now I know somebody can say like, well, yeah, man, you know, did the hair and thing, but if anyone really looks at it, her hair sort of reminds you of Satsuki more than anybody else there, solely because it's straight and it kind of sort of has like that little straight bobby cut in it. I mean like all the edges are like evenly lined up. You know, girl's hair is completely different, and so is like the body shape and everything else, given with how the flashback was. However, this is enough to make what's her name super angry and possibly try and like flood out and attack her, which sort of ends our episode. Now, in terms of how this thing sort of playing out, I am honestly happy that now all of the Elite Four business is sort of out. It's sort of out of the way now, and we're now leading into the whole thing of like, well, yeah, now, man, we're sort of getting back into talking about like what's going on in the story, and this isn't even talking about what the other two dudes are doing with that special bullet that they have for Ryuko. So, in terms of that, this episode was pretty good. I'm honestly happy, or at least like it gave me some happy points solely because now all the mindless fighting is out of the way, and now we're getting back into necessarily, or at least hopefully, we're getting back into something that's sort of kind of going to like elevate me to sort of like move past the whole like, well, yeah, just mindless battles. I think that this is like the pinnacle of them saying, well, yeah, nah, man, we're moving past the mindless battles, and now we're getting back into like battles that sort of have some elevation behind them. You know, namely some story behind them. So yeah, in terms of that, this episode was pretty okay. So let me know what you think. Was it good? Was it bad? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Put it down in the comment section. And hey, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share this video up on all of your favorite media sites. And thank you for supporting my video. Have a good one.